Hey, Aaron here with JamPlay, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to make a short little video just showing inside the JamPlay member area and showing you a couple of quick things and how JamPlay really is a roadmap for your guitar playing, what all we cover and how it all works. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to show you my screen. Okay, so this is what the JamPlay members dashboard looks like, and this is what you'll see when you log in. And there's a lot to it, quite a bit going on, but we're not going to worry about all that today. We're just going to show you how you can get in and get some real value and benefit from this just with our lesson library. All right, so the lesson library is right here in this section right here. So you click on lessons, and we break our lesson library down in 4 different groups. Okay, so we have phase 1, which is beginners. Phase 2 is for genres and skills. Now that's more intermediate to advanced, where you want to focus on specific skills. And then we have song lessons, which I'll get to in another video. And then we have songwriting. All right, so let's just start with phase 1 and phase 2 right now for this video, okay? So, all right, so we click on phase 1. Now, when you first join, we have a questionnaire that you fill out, and it tells us which lessons to show you and kind of put in front of you. So it helps you to discover stuff that's more relevant to you. So when you get to the phase 1 section, you have it's broken down by electric and then acoustic, and so you can just kind of browse and see that each one of these are beginner courses. Okay, so like this one right here is taught by Mark Brennan. It has 29 lessons. Here's David McKenzie, 41 lessons. Chris Lipe, 23, and so on. Now you may be thinking, wow, geez, if I'm a beginner, why do I need, I don't know, what is it, 8 or 9 different courses here? And the answer is it's based on your goal. It's based on where you're at too. Not everyone starts off right at the beginner where I don't even know how to tune my guitar. A lot of people come in and they know some basic chords, they know some basic strumming patterns, and so we have different courses kind of based on where you're at and what you want to and where you want to go. In contrast, a lot of other sites it's just one instructor and it's just one kind of curriculum, and that's fine, but that's kind of a one size fits all, whereas JamPlay is more of a customized approach where you kind of figure out, okay, which teacher do I identify with, which teacher is kind of teaching where I'm at, and which teacher is kind of going in the direction that I want to go in, and then you pick up on those lessons. So you pick a teacher by just kind of reading these little blurbs. You read the text on here. You'll click on the series, and each series has a series intro. It's a short little video that kind of tells you about the instructor and what the course is all about. So let's just say, let's just pick Will Ripley here. Now, this is rock guitar for beginners, okay? So if you are into rock guitar, you want to play AC/DC, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones, ZZ Top, like this is the course that you're gonna pick. And you can see just by looking at the lesson titles, Deep Purple, Queen, he's teaching you, this particular teacher, Will, is teaching you riffs. So you're learning musical application as you're learning to actually, the concepts. Now, not every teacher teaches that way. So it just depends on the way you learn and kind of finding that right fit. So you can see, Will, for example, has, this is a pretty beefy course. It's 44 lessons, and we're still adding more lessons to it. Let's go back to the acoustic section. All right, now if you want to play fingerstyle, you want to just jump right into fingerstyle, we have teachers that have beginner lessons that are more suited for what you want to learn. And so Jim Deeming is our fingerstyle expert. Okay, it really is segmented based on like what you actually want to get good at and what you're interested in, versus we're going to teach you just this big one size fits all kind of approach. We found that this way works better. We found that the students that use JamPlay like this way. So if you like the idea of getting specific beginner lessons based on your goals and interests, then you're gonna love this. All right, so that's phase one, and I'm going to show you the lesson player page. But before I do that, let me just jump ahead and go to phase two. All right, okay, so phase two is broken down into genre-specific courses and also skill-based courses. So genre is pretty self-explanatory, right? If you want to learn blues, I mean, we've got just about any kind of blues style topic covered here, like in depth. Okay, this is not just, hey, here's a couple lessons on this. I mean, this is if you want to learn like the Chicago blues, Eric Mattis has 68 lessons on that. If you want to learn Robert Johnson style blues, Hawkeye has 142 lessons on that. If you want to learn more modern blues, we've got 65 lessons from DJ Phillips. We've got stuff like Chris Lipe's Jekyll and Hyde Blues, where you're actually going to learn an entire blues solo, and you're going to learn it lick by lick. Let's go ahead and fingerstyle. So we've got quite a bit on fingerstyle. Now this right here is not beginner content. It's picking up where you would leave off from phase one. So you would go through the fingerstyle courses in phase one, and then once you complete those courses, then you would move on to this section, and this is going to be a lot more in depth, a lot more just challenging. We've got Don Ross in here, who's an amazing fingerstyle player. We've got Marcelo, who again, awesome. Jim Deeming, all these teachers have their own little twist on and their own teaching style for teaching that specific topic. So yeah, we even have that's why I say you may have heard me say like we cover virtually everything. I mean, we have Hawaiian slack key, 63 lessons. I mean that's such, it's not exactly the most popular topic in terms of number of people that want to learn it, but the people that do want to learn it, they're really avid and they love slack key. So, we have that covered. We have bluegrass, right? I mean, I can just click on all these. I mean, I think you can start to see that, it's not just like, hey, we've got, 15 lessons. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of courses on JamPlay. We've spent 10 years almost, creating all this stuff and filming all of these lessons. So we have, it's a very deep library. For example, jazz. You look at jazz and we come at it from different ways depending on where you are, right? So this course right here, Dennis Hodges jazz guitar, this course is taught from like if you're a rock guitar player primarily, but you want to get into jazz, then this would be a great course to get into because he teaches from that standpoint. But something like smooth jazz with Nick Kelly, that wasn't taught that way. It was kind of taught, if you already like smooth jazz. Okay, so that's our genre-based lessons in phase two, and as you can see, we have a lot of content there, a lot of courses. So no matter what you want to learn, we virtually cover everything. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is our skill-based lessons, and now. The cool thing about these are if you've been playing for a while, but maybe you're kind of in a rut, or you are you're just hitting like a roadblock. You're just hitting like a plateau in some technique. Well, you go to the skill-based lessons, and these lessons are designed to help you, right? So these are not beginner lessons. These are for people who have been playing for a while. These are for people who are stuck. And let's just say like your alternate picking, maybe you just kind of hit a wall with your alternate picking. You're not sure how to get any faster. You want to play faster. Well, we've got warm-up technique, speed and technique, another speed and technique. Each one of these guys are masters at lead technique. And so if you want to learn how to warm up properly, if you want to learn how to play faster, then these are the lessons that you're going to be interested in. All right, so now we have something called just helpers and tips, and a lot of people get value just from coming to this section. They just might need a little tweak or a little tune-up in one area. You don't need to start from scratch and learn how to tune your guitar or learn the basic chords. A lot of people already know all that stuff, but they're just missing something. They you know, they need to fill in the gaps. And so a lot of people can you know, can do that with this stuff right here. Like, just for example, maybe you never learned the fretboard. You know, we have a 6-week note memorization course taught by Chris Lipe. You know, maybe you just you're tensing up. I mean, a lot of people do that. They tense up when they play. Well, Dave Isaacs has a course on called Effortless Guitar, where, you know, the whole goal is to learn how to play with as little amount of effort as possible, not tensing up, because that causes a lot of physical problems. You know, maybe you know your basic chords, but you want to learn like chord inversions, that kind of thing. We've got chord building. So there's just, you know, a lot of them. And there's another this particular course right here by Brendan Burns. You know, he's got this, you know, switching chords, which is a kind of a big issue that a lot of kind of late beginners struggle with. You know, also strumming patterns. You know, we have how to practice strategies that are going to help you. Let's see, rhythm training. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of people, and so if you don't have like natural rhythm, that's okay. I mean, it's totally fine. Not, like I said, not a lot of people have that. We have a course in here where it's literally, you know, it's called Rebuilding Rhythm. And so it's going to build up your rhythm over the course of 6 weeks. So again, you could, you know, log into the members area, and they got all these courses, all these styles. But I mean, you might get like an insane amount of value out of just these 5 simple little lessons here. So really, no matter where you're at, we've got stuff that's going to kind of meet you where you are. So yes, there is a lot of content in here, but that doesn't mean that you need to take all of these lessons to actually, you know, get to where you want to be to improve your playing. We have the right lessons for you. So when we say, you know, we have, I think we have like 5,000 individual lessons, but each lesson has multiple videos. So I mean, really, we have like, I think it's over 15 thousand, you know, videos. Well, that's not really meant, you're not meant to go through all of those. What it means is that we have, you know, the JamPlay video with the multi-camera and the supplemental content and all the detail that you need, that we have that on any potential style that you, or genre or skill level that you want to learn. So that's kind of the thing to keep in mind is, yes, we have all those lessons, but it's not, you know, you don't have to use all of them to get value out of JamPlay, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, you know, and so that's why when I said in the email that this is kind of like a roadmap for guitar, you know, you might think, well, what does that mean? Or, you know, that's a hypey, or, but really, it really is that, because we cover almost every possible genre, style, skill, concept, technique, you know, whatever there is to learn on guitar. We have step-by-step courses, which are step-by-step plans that you can just start at lesson 1, go to lesson 2, and there you go. I mean, so you have your plan, and I think I think, you know, that really makes sense. It's why would you want to just kind of wing it when you have something right here that literally is step by step, and it's structured, and, you know, a lot of the stuff that we have is actually broken down by, you know, week. Hey, week 1 do this, week 2 do that, you know, or day 1 do this, day 2. So I know that this video is going a little bit long, so I want to kind of hurry up here. So let's go ahead and just let's go on, and I want to show you the actual video player and what an actual lesson looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at Dave Isaacs' course here. And, you know, here's lesson 13 lessons in. You're already learning, hey, as a beginner, you know, how do you play most songs? And you know, you can read the description here. Most songs can be played with 3 or 4 chords. And so in this lesson, Dave gives you the tools to play most songs that you know and love. All right, well, let's click on that and let's see what that is. All right, let me just move this down a little bit. All right, so this is what we call the lesson player page. So you're going to have all of your lessons right here, all accessible right here. So if you're working on lesson 1 and you're like, hey, I want to see what lesson 2 is, you know, you can just move right to the next lesson by clicking that, and boom, it's loading up the next lesson. So, and then so that's that. And so you can browse all of the lessons, and you can see there's quite a bit here. And I'm shrinking my screen down a little bit to fit this all in video. So normally you'd have a little bit more room here. Okay, so this is the video player here, and then this is your scene browser. Remember how I was saying that we have like 5,100 lessons or something like that, but we actually have way more videos? That's because each lesson is broken down into different chapters that we call scenes. And so a lot of times, if there's multiple exercises in a lesson, or maybe like a lesson will have like the explanation of an exercise, and then like scene 2 would be, here's how to practice along with me, and then scene 3 would be more exercise, and then scene 4 would be practice the exercise. So that's kind of how we break down each lesson. Okay, so really quick about these tabs here. You've got your about section, which if you like to read, we've got tons of in-depth write-ups for the lessons that you can a lot of explanation there. So it depends. Everybody learns differently. If you learn visually, you've obviously got the video. If you learn by reading more, then we have write-ups. Okay, so the next part, supplemental content. So we put anything that's supplemental to the lesson, any kind of chord charts, tabs, backing tracks. That you're going to find all that here. Okay, so we have the standard, just kind of like an image, right, that you can print off. And again, my screen won't let me go down all the way here because of the way I'm recording this. But anyways, and then we also give you a PDF version, and I'd say about 95% of the lessons have Guitar Pro files. So if you have Guitar Pro or some of the other tab editors, you can make use of that. And then the other cool thing is the interactive tabs. So you're going to actually be able to go in and not just have the static images and PDFs, but you can also, right there on the player page, you can also go in and play it right there. See, we also have comments on lessons, so you can see there's quite a few people that have left comments on this. That was fun, even for a seasoned beginner. Pink Floyd lesson. So lots of discussion going on underneath the lessons, and the teachers hop in here as well. And then we also have a dedicated Ask the Teacher section. Excuse me. And anyone can go in and leave a question for the teacher. So you can go in and ask a new question right here. Title, ask your details, and then these are for the public. And so we'll have a qualified teacher comes in and answers your question. Okay, so let's jump into the actual video player itself.
Hey everybody, Dave Isaacs back with you here.
And I'll pause it. Now the first thing is we have different qualities. So depending on your internet stream speed, you can select different quality of video here, which would, the higher up, the better it looks, but the more demanding it is on your internet connection. So, usually high or super is adequate as far as for getting the information that you need. So you can see we have multiple angles going on, right? So we have like this regular kind of just head on as if you were learning in a room with a teacher, an over the shoulder view here. Down here in the bottom, and then we have your strum, and then we have this little angle here, so you can kind of see him as he's talking. So it really gives you a crystal clear picture, and I could full screen this, but it won't look right on. Let me see. Yeah, it won't look right on this video capture software, but you can full screen it, of course, and it really gives you a full picture of what exactly is going on in the strumming hand and the fret hand. And a lot of, lessons don't really give you that detail. We have multiple cameras, up to 5 different cameras that kind of capture, and we switch to based on, what the teacher is focusing on. Okay, so that's our lessons. I mean, if you've seen our free stuff on YouTube, then you kind of have an idea of what to expect from our lessons. And a lot of the newer courses have the on-screen tabs, which make it a lot easier to follow along. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is the player speed. So you can actually speed it up, or you can slow it down to 50%. And still have the audio playing. All right, so I'll show you that here. It's at 100% now. I'll click play.
Of the left hand, the fretting hand fingers.
I'll slow it down to 50.
Release, move together.
Pretty cool, right? The other cool thing about this player that I want to show you is this A/B looping feature. Click A, and then you would maybe you can get it perfect if I wasn't recording this, but you would click B, right, and then you let it play,
of the left
and it's
hand,
going to loop
fretting hand fingers.
between A and B.
Release.
Okay, so did
together.
you catch that? Let me try that. Let me try that.
E minor.
So I get my A point as I'm watching the lesson.
On the
like,
fifth
oh, I
string.
really want to focus on that.
And then
right?
playing.
So I'll hit pause. I'll hit A, and then let's say I know exactly if I was actually doing this, I would know where to end. I would skip it ahead to where I wanted the B point to be. Hit B, and then hit play.
Playing
And
the
it'll
two
actually
notes side
end
by
the
side.
loop between A and B. And not only that, but you can still do the slow motion. Okay.
Not block.
Pretty cool. Okay, so that is what the lesson player page looks like, and that's what our videos and video player looks like. And I think that you should be able to see that this stuff saves you time. It's much more convenient than just going out and dealing with sites that don't have tabs, or only have one camera angle, or don't really easily let you loop between sections, or let you slow down the video. So can you see how this combined with all of the material really makes it super easy to get in and learn something and really hone in on techniques and learn much quicker than kind of just willy-nilly random hunting around on Google or articles and YouTube videos, and kind of, I mean, we really are giving you a structured step-by-step curriculum, but also it's not one size fits all. It's based on your individual needs and skill level. And we also give you the tools with the video player that just makes it much more convenient to learn. So that's the lesson library and how it works on JamPlay. And I hope you can see how it really eliminates this problem of information overload and not knowing what you should be working on or for how long or any of that kind of stuff. When you are a member of JamPlay and you are following a step-by-step course, that's not going to be a problem for you. You're going to be able to stay laser focused on what you need to be working on so that you get the results faster, so that you're not just off in the weeds practicing something that doesn't even apply to what you actually want to do, So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you our song library. We have over 350 song lessons, and I'm going to show you some of the really cool songs that you can learn on JamPlay. But for now, if you have any questions at all about the lesson library, leave them for me in the comment section below this video, and I will respond to you. All right, thanks a lot. Take care.